Everyone, my name's Pam. My grandkids call me Grammy Pammy. The little baby I nanny for is learning to call me Nanny or Nana. And the kids that I work with, I'm a substitute teacher now, call me Mrs. B. I started a thing yesterday that I didn't know was a thing until after it was done. I decided I'd make a video for my grandbabies. I have four, and two of them live in Ohio and two of them live in Maryland. I live in Pennsylvania. So I thought I'd make videos on YouTube for them and send them to their mommies and daddies who have to be home right now. So it would give them a little break during the day. So today I thought I'd try to make some story time for all of you. A lot of my friends are teachers and they're home. The person I work for is home. We're all stuck at home. My husband's back there in the office and he's working. So I thought maybe I'd try something every day if I can to break up the monotony of your day at home and read some books. So the book I'm going to read for you today, this is Thursday, March 19th, 2020, is a Disney book, a little golden book, and it's called Goof Troop Great Expectations. A lot of the books I have here at home are from when my kids were little, and my kids are now in their 30s, so they're getting kind of older. Anyway, this is about a 12-minute book, so hopefully you guys enjoy it. The Great Expectations. I'll read the book and a page, and then I will show you the pictures. It's not fair, Max grumbled. He was standing on the shore of Fossil Lake where he had just freed the wild duck that had been his pet. His father said he had to let the duck go. Poor Max. His father never liked the pets he brought home. Just then, Max noticed something large and pink and purple. It's a giant egg. But where's his mama? He said to himself. Max looked around for a large bird, one that could be the egg's mother. There wasn't a bird in sight, so he decided to take the egg home. It needs me, Max declared, happily lifting the big egg. When Max got home, his dad was busy cooking supper. That you, son? Goofy called. Hi, Dad, Max said quickly as he hurried through the kitchen. He struggled up to his room with the egg. I won't tell Dad about the egg yet, thought Max, but wait until I show PJ. Max called his best friend and told him to come over right away. PJ lived next door. I bet a lot of you have friends next door too, but you can't really play with them right now, so hopefully this will help. PJ was shocked when he saw the egg. If that thing hatches, the bird is going to be huge, he exclaimed. Will your dad let you keep it? I hope so, Max replied with a sigh. To keep the egg warm, Max covered it with a blanket and earmuffs. Then he and PJ went downstairs to eat. PJ was staying for supper. While Max and PJ were eating, strange things started to happen to the egg. First, it began to shake. Everybody shake! Shake, shake, shake! Then it began to crack. Finally, a scaly green head poked out. Gronk! The creature cried. Bit by bit, it began to break out of the shell. When Max and PJ went back upstairs, they couldn't believe their eyes. It looks like a baby dinosaur, PJ sputtered. Max was so happy. He had a new pet. Gronk, the dinosaur gurgled. PJ gulped. I'm out of here, he said, dashing for the door. Good luck, Maxie. Max patted the baby dinosaur. I bet you would like a bath, he said gently. Let's sneak you in the bathroom before Dad comes up. Gee, I wonder what I should name you, said Max as his new pet splashed in the tub. I bet you're a boy dinosaur. Just then, the baby dinosaur dunked his head in the water and started blowing bubbles. What do you think he's gonna name him? I've got it. I'll call you Bubbles, said Max. Now, if only I could figure out a way to tell Dad about you. Late that night, Bubbles left Max sleeping in his own room to go exploring. Soon he poked his green head into Goofy's room. Goofy was snoring so loudly that the windows were rattling. Bubbles crept closer to the bed to see what was making all the noise. To Bubbles, Goofy looked just like Max. When he saw Goofy, he gave him a big, friendly lick. Goofy slowly opened his sleepy eyes. A monster! Goofy screamed, seeing Bubbles. He leapt out of bed in terror. As he jumped, a lamp fell on the floor with a crash. Arp, arp, Bubbles whimpered, scared by the noisy commotion. Poor little Bubbles. Look at him. He's afraid. The noise woke Max up. He rushed to Goofy's room to see what was going on. Stay back, son, Goofy warned. Don't hurt him, Dad, Max cried. He's my pet. Your what? Yelled Goofy. Max quickly told his father the whole story about Bubbles. Then he begged him to keep him. But he's some kind of a dinosaur, son, said Goofy. He belongs in a museum or in a zoo. I'll take good care of him, Max pleaded. I promise. Finally, Goofy gave in. Aw, shucks. You can keep him as long as he stays out of trouble, he said, and he doesn't get too big. Max beamed. No problem, he said happily. I mean, how big can he get? How big can a dinosaur get? I bet you all know the answer to that. Let's see. In no time at all, Bubbles grew very big. He loved food, especially marshmallows. Finally, Goofy had had enough. He's eaten 1,000 eggs, 1,000 bags of marshmallows, 400 cabbages, 10 houseplants, and the remote control, Goofy said with a groan. Sorry, son, but we just can't keep him anymore. And it's not fair to keep Bubbles cooped up in the house like this anyway. Max knew his dad was right. Okay, he said sadly. I'll take him back to Fossil Lake tomorrow. Look how big Bubbles got. Bigger than all of them. He fills the whole room almost. He got pretty big. Late that night, while Max and Goofy were sleeping, Bubbles woke up and wandered outside. He was hungry. He found a tasty shrub in PJ's front yard. Munch, munch, munch. Bubbles chewed so loudly that Pete woke up. Pete was PJ's dad. Who's out there? Pete shouted from the bedroom window. Max and Goofy heard the noise too. They ran outside and saw Pete chasing Bubbles with a broom. PJ was up and chasing his father. Max was scared. Dad, we gotta save Bubbles, he cried. Oh, this commotion. Remember, he's just a baby, even though he looks big. Goofy had an idea. He and Max jumped into their old jalopy and took off. Goofy headed straight for Fossil Lake. But Dad, Max shouted, they went the other way. Don't worry, said Goofy, and he zoomed on down the road. Meanwhile, Bubbles ran until he was trapped in a dead-end alley. Gotcha, Pete growled. You miserable monster. Don't hurt him, PJ begged. He's just a baby. Suddenly, they heard a terrifying roar behind them. Who do you think that roar's coming from? Let's see if you're right. It was a dinosaur as big as a house, with Goofy and Max on top. Bubbles, meet your mama, said Max with a grin. The giant dinosaur lowered her head and nuzzled Bubbles on the cheek. Where did you find her? Asked PJ. I figured if there was an egg at the lake, there had to be a mama somewhere, Goofy said proudly. Pete looked dazed. 2 dinosaurs in one night were too much for him. I'd better get Dad home, said PJ as he led Pete away. He's thinking, what is all of this? Is it a baby dinosaur? Is it a mama dinosaur? They're happy because they found a mama dinosaur. Later, Max and Goofy watched as the 2 dinosaurs swam off into the lake. Max, you took good care of Bubbles, said Goofy. I'm proud of you. It's time we got you a real pet. Great, said Max. How about a boa constrictor? Maybe a tarantula? A tarantula, Goofy choked. Now, just a gosh darned minute, son. Do you think he's getting either one of those as a pet? I don't think so, but you never know. How many of you have pets at home? Dogs, cats, snakes, gerbils, who knows? I have 2 kitty cats, Simba and Ginny, that live with me or will live with us, my husband and I. And even if you can't have real pets at home for whatever reason, I bet you have a ton of stuffed animals, and any one of those can make a fun little pet, a pretend pet. So I hope you all enjoyed this today. If you did, I will try to do it again. Just call it Story Time with Grammy Nanny Pammy. Hope you guys are staying safe and enjoying some quality family time with your families. And just remember, this too shall pass. We will all make it. Love you guys bunches. Miss all my coworkers and my lovely employer for my little baby Trent. So especially miss my grandbabies too. Anyway, you guys have a super great day. Take care. Bye.